All right, so today we're diving into something a little different,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually going to be taking a look at some real estate marketing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and specifically, we're going to be dissecting the approach of this real estate agent named Michael
Okay.
and trying to see what we can learn from his strategy.
Sounds good. What kind of stuff does he do?
Well, right off the bat, you see all the classic real estate buzzwords, right?
Right. Like what?
Experience, knowledge, commitment,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. But then he throws in some really interesting, like, tech-forward stuff.
Oh, interesting. What kind of tech?
We're talking drones,
Yeah.
global networks, the works.
Wow. Okay, so he's going all out.
It's pretty wild. And I think there's a lot we can learn from how he's, like, blending the traditional with the cutting edge.
I see. Yeah. I mean, especially in real estate, which is such a people-centric field.
Exactly. So let's dig in a little deeper, shall we?
Do it.
Okay, so right from the jump, he hits you with these core qualities. Knowledge, experience, commitment, all those things that scream, trust me. And I think, especially in real estate, where you're making such a huge decision, trusting your agent is paramount.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about one of the biggest investments most people will ever make. You've got to have that solid foundation of trust.
Right. So it makes sense that he's emphasizing that from the get-go, but then he takes it a step further. He starts talking about this comprehensive professional service and VIP treatment.
So he's not just helping you find a house, he's creating an experience.
Exactly. It's like he's going above and beyond,
Yeah.
like beyond just the transactional stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's super smart, especially if he's targeting like the luxury market.
Oh, for sure. Those clients expect a certain level of service.
They want to feel pampered, like they're the only client you have.
And that's exactly the vibe he's giving off.
Right, it's about building a relationship, not just closing a deal.
Okay, so we've got the trust, high-touch service, but then he throws in this tech layer.
Mm.
I mean, we're talking Remax Global, Juwai.com, social media, and then he drops the drone photography.
Okay, now that's cool. Drones are pretty hot in real estate these days, aren't they?
It seems like it, right? Like, is that becoming the norm?
More and more. I mean, it makes sense, you can capture these sweeping shots.
Yeah, like those dramatic aerial views you see in the movies.
Exactly. You can showcase the whole property, the neighborhood, everything. It adds a whole other dimension.
And it taps into that lifestyle aspect, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not just about the house itself, but the whole experience of living there.
Exactly. It's aspirational.
Totally. Now, another thing that caught my eye was his use of Juwai.com.
Ah, interesting. You don't see that every day. What do you think that tells us?
Well, Juwai is specifically for international buyers, right?
Right, and a lot of those buyers are looking for luxury properties.
So he's strategically targeting a very specific audience.
Exactly. It's a smart move, especially in a competitive market. Cast a wider net, see what you can reel in.
And it's not just about being on these platforms, it's how he talks about them. He's emphasizing high-definition aerial photography,
Yeah.
an engaging online experience, high-definition video home tours. It's all about the visuals.
It's about creating an experience, right? People want to feel immersed in the property before they even step foot in it.
And these days, people are so visually driven.
Absolutely. High quality visuals draw people in. They spark that emotional connection. It's like they can already picture themselves living there.
Okay, so we've talked about trust, the VIP treatment, the tech, but then he adds another layer. He mentions having this whole network of service providers, legal, financial, everything.
Oh, that's smart.
Right, like he's become a one-stop shop.
It's so convenient for the client. They don't have to go hunting for a mortgage broker or a lawyer or anything.
You got it all covered.
Streamlines the whole process.
Huh.
And again, I think that would be especially appealing to like first-time buyers.
Or anyone who just feels overwhelmed by the whole process.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like he's taking all the stress out of it. And
Yeah.
that builds so much trust and loyalty.
And it's funny because with all this talk of tech and like this super comprehensive service, you might think he's lost sight of the human element.
You'd think so, right?
But then he brings it back around. He talks about how much he enjoys connecting with people, helping them achieve their dreams.
That's so important. It's a reminder that at the end of the day, real estate is still a people business.
It's about relationships.
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful message for all of us, no matter what field we're in.
So to wrap it up, it seems like what we've got here is a really interesting blend of like timeless principles
Right.
and really modern techniques.
I agree.
Michael's success really seems to hinge on establishing that trust, creating this client-centric experience,
Mhm.
and then, really using tech to enhance that experience.
It's a winning formula, it seems like.
It really does. Now, for all of you listeners out there, think about your own field. How could you maybe apply some of these principles? Could you use tech to elevate your client experience? Are there ways to showcase your product or service that tap into that emotional side? I mean, the possibilities are really endless when you start thinking about it.
I think that's a great point to end on.
Thanks for joining us on another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.